everybody, this is Derek, and with me today is the only man who uses poison ivy to wipe himself and wonder why he had to cancel multiple trips, Carl Mandrioli. Yet again, here we are.
Welcome to the Backpacking Wishers podcast, brought to you by Enlightened Equipment, the quilt that helped get my pack down to 18 pounds on our most recent trip.
Ooh.
Check them out at enlightenedequipment.com. With me today is Derek Somerville. He's a man who's afraid of offending a dude named Terry on the Oregon Trail. He doesn't want to die of dysentery.
Oh, dude. It's like every time I think they can't get worse, they get worse. I mean, that's a talent.
If you think about it more, you'll appreciate it.
It's like you have a talent for making jokes worse. That's a special gift.
So we were just on the Timberline Trail. Here's a joke. This is from one of the guys who's like, Timberline. Who's that? You like that one?
Oh, wow. So guys, I don't know, for those of you watching on YouTube, for the podcast listeners, we put up a little caption underneath, and my joke was just Timberline, Carl's idea of a food joke, right? He doesn't know this until he get online. He jumps online, immediately starts laughing, is like, oh my God, that's really funny.
It is.
This is what you do. I was like, how dumb can I make it? And you're going to love it. I like it.
You're welcome.
Good job.
Okay.
Good job.
All right. Thanks.
We got a fun one today.
We do. Thanks for. It was great that you were able to pat yourself on the back there.
Thank you.
Derek, what's it? Okay, we have in the title. We're calling the working title is 5 backpacking crises on the Timberline Trail. What's a backpacking crisis?
I mean, how dramatic is this person experiencing the crisis? Like, I mean, for you, it'd be what? Shoulder pain is a crisis. Right. For others, it could be something like, oh my gosh, my stove broke. It could be like somebody woke up with a fever and they can't do anything. It could be like they rolled an ankle and can barely walk. It could be,
somebody forgot their sleeping pad and blamed it on a shuttle driver.
Right. Okay, sure. And then somebody forgot their pillow and pretended,
and then admitted to it. That's a crisis.
And admitted to it. I mean, it's ridiculous. the things that can happen. But I guess, I mean, it's a plethora, as you know. But I guess it would be something that's like going to potentially affect the trip as a whole, I would imagine, right?
And we're not afraid to, use the strong words to describe things that happen on our trips. So we've got 5 of them that occurred on the Timberline Trail from our most recent Patreon trip. So we're going to go through those here in a moment. First, our Bible verse of the episode, Proverbs 6:6-8. Go to the ant, O sluggard, consider her ways and be wise. Without having any chief, officer, or ruler, she prepares her bread in summer and gathers her food in harvest.
Ooh.
So, Derek, are you generally prepared like the ant for a backpacking trip?
Wow. Like the ant for a backpacking trip.
Yeah.
I think I've gotten a lot better over the years, which I think is ideal. You want to improve yourself over the years. So I think I like to think I'm fairly prepared. I'm sure there's always things I could, like I'll say this, like we're very kind of like, man, do we really need we're kind of like, we lighten up the first aid kit, I feel like every year more and more.
No, we don't. I'm the opposite. I'm adding as I get older.
Do we need this first aid kit? I mean, that's probably the one thing I should probably, I don't usually carry it.
Right.
And you usually throw like 3 Band-Aids in there. And
at least.
That's it. So
at least. Sometimes 4.
That's probably a weak area.
Okay. All right.
What about you? Are you a planner?
Yeah, for sure. We got the gear list now, or we got it dialed in. We got pack weights are only getting lighter, and for some of us, I should say. So I think that we're generally prepared, but apparently not, because we had 5 backpacking crises on the Timberline Trail. So we're going to talk about that. Okay. So for this trip, we had 10 or 11 people that were on the trip. Yeah. Derek, again, afraid to go, so didn't make this one.
Fear.
So I had to bring in somebody else to talk about the trip, because I can't just talk.
Sounds like I avoided a crisis, though. I mean, based on what I'm reading here.
Yeah, that's fair. We brought one of my favorite people to go backpacking with. With us today is a woman who's been backpacking since the 70s. She's endured 2 Patreon trips. She hikes faster than Derek. Christine Marsh, how's it going today?
Going great. Good to see you guys.
Christine and I are already going to be friends, and I can already feel
it.
Yeah.
I'm worried about you, though, Carl, connecting with her, but
she might rescind our friendship and be friends with you.
Well, I'm looking forward to getting into this trip, because like she was there. You have all these crises we're going to go through, and it's good that she's here to kind of give like probably the most honest opinion of what happened, because you like to kind of fudge things.
Yeah, for sure. And this is where I really want you to shine, Derek. I want you to be able to dig into some of your questions and really pull the truth out here. Okay.
Pull the truth out.
Yeah.
Got it. Let's start with this. How would you rate, Christine, this trip in terms of difficulty? What would you say? Like scale of 1 to 10.
I would rate it a 8.
8 out of 10?
8.
She likes
Yeah,
8 out
8
of 10. See?
Yeah.
Wait, you hiked the Grand Canyon. What's the Grand Canyon then?
9.
It's right under the Grand Canyon.
Just to clarify, is only slightly harder than the Timberline Trail, you're saying?
What I realized was that with the Timberline Trail, we had an incredible gain of elevation.
Right.
But there were a lot of, flat places where you could kind of relax, but still make progress. If you're doing the Grand Canyon, the only time you get a break is just when you stop.
Right.
Because it's all up or
Sounds
it's
fun.
all down.
Yeah, so that's way harder.
Oh, it's great. It's great.
But you're saying 1 notch harder. I'm saying that's way harder. I would guess the Grand Canyon's like a 10 and the Timberline's like a 6.
So you're gonna poo-poo on her review even though she's actually done both? Is that what I'm saying?
Correct.
Is that what I'm getting?
Is that fair?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of ridiculous, but
let's go through before we jump into the backpacking crisis. Let's go through some of the kind of strategies, ultralight strategies and efficiencies. All right. So one thing was
stop. You're using
it.
You're using the word crises.
Yeah.
And it wouldn't be so bad if it's just like 1 crisis or maybe 2 or 3 is a stretch, but you've got 5 in there.
Yeah,
I don't think this is good for the brand, really.
Fair point.
I think that if we want to, for people that are curious but like adventure, and I think we should call them plot twists.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
So 5 plot twists.
5 plot twists.
Derek, what do you say to that?
I can get behind that. I mean, you are a little bit more dramatic than most, so I can see why you label it crisis.
Yeah.
But plot twist, I could get behind that. I could see that. Maybe you had 1 crisis, possibly 2, but more or less plot twist.
Yeah.
Then this happened. This happened. And how did so I could get that. I could get behind that.
All right, and my response is no. I'm calling it crisis. You can call it plot twist if you want to.
So dramatic.
This is my episode title. So you can call it whatever you want to, but I'm calling it. All right, here we go. All right, so here we go. Number 1, there was a heat advisory issued just before the trip. All right, so Derek, do you do anything different as a trip planner, as a just person who's going? We're talking 80s and 60s in the mountains, which is pretty high.
I could count like hundreds of times Alexa will jump on my, give me a notification. It's like, hey, there's a heat advisory warning. Hey, there's a heat advisory. It's like every day there's a heat advisory warning. It's summertime. Yeah. It's going to be hot. Just make sure you bring enough fluids and food. Okay. This is not a crisis to me.
All right. No. Not a crisis. Christine, big deal, little deal. What do you think?
It's a huge deal.
Okay. Oh,
when
here we go.
Living in Arizona, you always have water insecurity and, cooling insecurity. And I get those same warnings that you get, Derek. And everything has to change with the trip. You always have to be aware of keeping your fluids up. You always have to be aware of, eating salty foods and, warding off dehydration.
Right.
But when you get a warning, that's like serious stuff.
Right.
And you have to, when I plan a trip and have, guide people, you tell them we're going to soak the sponge like the week before. You're just going to be drinking and salty snacks and
a week before. That's a long time.
Yeah. Well, I say that because I know they're probably only going to do it like 2 days before.
Okay.
But
oh wow.
Yeah.
Covering your base.
Well, yeah. And so people show up and at least the day before they've cameled up. They've taken as much water as they can, and that's good. And then you tell them that you wear stuff. Now it's interesting because usually we talk about cotton killing. Especially, if in the winter time, you want wicking sort of fabrics, but in the summer, cotton's a good thing because it holds on to the water and it's going to keep you cooler. So cotton's okay.
Those blisters forming on your feet too, right?
Well, yeah,
that can happen. That can happen.
It really can.
So,
But the other thing is, so you tell them also, especially this trip, it was great. We had all these water crossings. So you say, once you get to water crossing, throw your clothes in or take your hat, dump
throw
some
your
water over you. Well,
what are we talking about here, Christine?
It's you in them. Okay. Like,
I mean, I don't know where you are from Arizona. I mean, they do things different. I get it. So you're saying just if I get a heat advisory warning, it is a huge deal. I need to prep a week in advance.
You need to drink lots of water. Just hang out in the bathroom. Just go pee until it's clear, and
air
then keep
conditioner.
on going.
I know this is a big deal for you guys out there because you guys live in air conditioning as much as possible, right? So maybe the contrast of going out in the heat is that much more intense. Whereas like I'm getting a heat advisory warning like almost every day here, and it's like, bring an extra bottle of water, bring your sunscreen.
How hot do you get? How hot?
Right, that's what I'm saying. It's like
high 70s, right?
Yeah.
No, it's like mid 80s. It was like mid 80s.
There's no heat advisory for mid 80s.
There sure is. I got one yesterday. I got one yesterday.
105. Okay, 105.
I don't send the advisory out, guys. I'm not. I just don't shoot the messenger. Okay.
When it dips below 70, is it like freeze warning? Like put on a jacket.
Listen, Christine. I know Arizona is maybe the hottest state in the country, but let's keep in mind California has the hottest place on the earth. So
yeah, which is not where you live, right?
No, but we're all connected by heat.
Yeah. Okay. So
what does that mean?
Let me just wrap the first one up here. So there were two things that happened to the points that you guys made that I think were good and that were bad. First of all, well, actually maybe 3 points, because one of my, as I probably should have mentioned cameling up and maybe hydrating ahead of time. Did not do that as a trip leader, so that's my mistake. And then we did the pack weigh-in prior to the trip, and I was like, "Where's the closest stream crossing?" And somebody said it was like 2 or 3 miles. And so for the pack weigh-in, like literally on the video, I'm dumping out half my water to reduce my pack load, which for me is fine, but maybe it doesn't set a great precedent for the rest of the guys on the trip. And as it turned out, one of the guys did have an issue with the heat. So that was, I'll say bad idea on my part. All right, that's number one. Number two, one guy, this kind of goes along with the heat stuff. One guy got a bug, like a stomach bug on day one, possibly got heat exhaustion. And day one was actually, even though it was hot, it was a relatively easy day as far as like it was mainly downhill. But this guy's like leaning over his trekking poles. He is clearly not feeling good, but he doesn't want to turn back. He wants to keep going. All right, Derek, how do you handle that?
Well, I mean, I didn't see it firsthand, so it's hard to say. Did we have any medication for nausea on the trip? Do we have any of that stuff?
We had 2 pharmacists on the trip giving advice, but everything that they were saying, including Christine, everything they were saying, either I think it just like he had tried it and nothing seemed to be working.
And you're how far?
He had when we kind of tried to get his history, hadn't he been, he came in on a late plane. He got in late. He didn't get a lot of sleep.
Right.
And it was hard to know how that situation impacted whatever else was going on. And I think we relied a lot upon what he said.
Yeah.
And what he felt,
Like he wanted to throw up, but he wasn't throwing up. He wasn't hungry, couldn't keep food down. He was, he had kind of like an elevated heart rate, but we're going downhill.
Right.
So Derek, you're in charge, man. What do you do? He's flown out.
We didn't have a thermometer either. We didn't know
we didn't have
if he
like
had
a
something
butt thermometer.
infectious. Right. No.
Sounds like is potential heat exhaustion as well coming up. Maybe I don't know how it was at the time. How far in were you guys?
At the point when I think it was just like the first like 2 or 3 miles when I was first made aware of it.
Oh gosh. Well, I mean, and he wants to keep going.
He says he feels better when he's going, and he's better in the shade, obviously.
I think the shade's a big one. Yeah, give him a break, hydrate. Can he rest? Probably not, because you're just starting. But I mean, here's the problem. Like, it's like either you just put your foot down and be like, no, I don't think this is a good idea, but he's like, I really want to keep going. I think I'll be okay.
He spent money. He's flown from Ohio to be here.
I mean, if he knows he's a grown man, if he knows the risk, I mean, is he able to like turn back if it gets worse? Probably not, right? If it gets worse than where he's already at, that's the concern I would have.
We had 2 guys on the trip that were Oregonians, right?
Yeah.
And they they had plans, or I don't know, maybe you and them had put together some bailout plans in the case of something like this, right?
Sort of.
So
Like there were access points to different trailheads. So
okay,
there were bailout points, but it's not like convenient. It's like it's going to be an effort to get somebody back to a trailhead kind of a
right,
situation.
right.
So that's what we ended up after day one evacuating him out, and the Oregon guys kind of took the lead on that. But I
How
just
did
want to
you
see what,
evacuate him?
yeah, I wanted to see what you would say to that point to see if you were.
I mean, I feel like you're gonna know pretty quick if he's puking and can barely move, and
He wanted to. He wasn't puking, and
Yeah.
he wanted to.
Our first campsite was about 10 miles in. He made it there.
Wow.
And yeah, so he made it. I think the solution was fine. I was just curious if you would have had him turn around, basically.
I mean, that's I don't know, the hard one. I think
Yeah.
if it was any worse than what you're describing, I'd probably say yeah. Like if you
Yeah.
can barely move, like if you're hiking, how was it when you're hiking like the first mile or two? Is he just like huffing and puffing along behind you guys, or what's he doing?
I mean, there's so many people going. I was talking with different folks, so it's kind of hard to know.
Did he fall behind?
I mean, we're going downhill. Nobody's really like behind.
Yeah, that's true.
So
I mean, that's so. How did they evacuate him then? What did
so one guy hiked back to get the vehicle, pulled around. It's like an hour drive around to meet the other two guys at the trailhead that they exited out of, and then drove him to like an airport hotel, basically. And then those other two guys met us on the trail later. So it was more complicated than that, but that's essentially how it was.
That's huge for them to do
Yeah.
that.
So yeah,
I
that
mean,
was Jason and Jerry, and yeah, those guys. Those guys. I actually in my mind was like thinking of plans of like how I was gonna do it. I was thinking of like hitchhiking and things like that, and they were just like, we'll take care of it. I was like, dang.
Yeah.
Wow, huge.
They already had thought about it.
Yeah.
Dude, those guys are awesome.
Okay.
I mean, if you're talking that's the extent you gotta go, and you don't have a Jason and Jerry on the trip, then I'd probably.
We don't usually have a Jason and Jerry on the trip unless it's literally Jason and Jerry.
Well, okay, that's my question. Let's say this happens again. You don't have Jason and Jerry on the trip, and anybody like that personality wise, like, are you gonna be like, yeah, I don't think this is a good idea? This is what happened last.
We're gonna start out by saying, the last trip we had this situation.
Right.
And
he left a day early or after day one.
Yeah, and just explain that if they're obviously to do what we did, the elevation loss and gain again, that can't make you feel any better.
Right.
I think I'd have here's what I would do. Here's what I'd do. If you knew where you were camping, which sounds like you guys kind of had an idea, right?
Right.
I would say, hey, dude, here's the access points of where you can maybe meet us later.
Yeah.
And if you go back to the hotel, if you're feeling better by day 2 or 1, like this is where we're gonna be.
Yeah.
And this is the section we'll be hiking. Come and meet us.
Why didn't we think of that?
That's good.
That's a good plan.
I don't think he was in the position to kind of re-meet us, but that's really good.
Yeah.
I was imagining if you were on the trip, Derek, you would just kind of turn to me and be like, hey, stinks to be you.
Well, obviously, yeah. No, I mean, that would have helped you. I think. I mean, it really depends. Like, if I'm there, like, you can kind of see how the guy is. But like, if he like slept it off, and the next day he felt like he felt great, then he knows.
That's what we were hoping, and that it didn't work out that way. So
yeah,
it worked out in the end. Okay, I was just like, I just think that we're gonna have these types of situations increasing as we have either harder trips or just as we get older, for sure. But all right, crisis number 3.
Here we go.
Okay, to Christine's point earlier, where she thought it was like more on the strenuous side, the trip was borderline too challenging for multiple guys on the trip. All right, this is after the evacuation. So by day 3, sit down breaks were increasing and lengthening. So middle of day 3. Yeah, we got more elevation to cover. People are starting to really get wiped out. Yeah. Christine, what do you think about that? Is there any solution to this, or how would you handle this as a trip leader?
To be honest, even because I think a lot of this was because of the heat. And
I was gonna say the heat,
yeah, I think that played into it big.
Not preparation.
And I have to say, even like the week before we went, I was thinking to myself, maybe we should have like a little, a Zoom or some kind of a group talk, and focused on heat, and the things you can do. And I think that what was happening, at least what I was observing, was that a lot of guys were kind of just out of the gate, like first thing in the morning, and they were just out like a shot. and then it would hit them,
Interesting.
and then they'd like, you know, I'd come, because I was like the tortoise all the way, and I just had the same pace, and I just keep going, and I'd find them, you know, leaning up against a tree, and it was too much for them. And so letting people know that you got to start out slow and just keep, but if you start out slow and try to keep the same, you know, I always say that it's good if you can just keep putting out the same amount of energy, which means that you have a certain amount of energy when you're on the flat, and then when you start to go up, then you slow down, but you're still putting out the same amount of energy. So I have to tell you, I don't know what like the guy vibe was.
The guy vibe.
I was,
Ooh.
yeah, the guy vibe. Like, hey man, it's like, I'm gonna go fast. How about you? Yeah, I'm going fast too.
Like was ego an issue?
Faster.
Are you thinking these are the conversations we're having? Like, hey,
for sure,
yeah, I'm going fast.
I was in the back, so I don't know.
Okay, no,
a lot of ego up there, Christine. A lot of ego.
Yeah.
Is there? Because I mean, I'm not going to name names because we're not doing that.
Carl.
But there were you know, like some 3 people, 4 people maybe at the front, and they were like gone. And so the people behind those 4 maybe thought they should be going as fast, and they were just out like a shot. So
you want to have a sit down conversation. So they're sitting down anyway. So just have a sit down conversation. Be like, hey, calm down in the beginning, slow down, pace yourself. It's not a competition. It's not a race. Go like Derek speed, basically, and you'll be fine.
Derek speed, yeah. The best speed. That's interesting. So is Carl one of these guys like out in the front, like trying to be a big shot? Is that what I'm understanding? And then you're kind of like,
no.
Now we're talking. No. Now we're talking.
No? Is that what we're getting at?
That's the question I was expecting from you,
He's
Derek.
behind me.
Okay, I need to clarify.
Doing just fine.
He's
behind me, and I'm saying I'm doing fine, Carl.
Yeah, and is he kind of like, let's go, Christine, let's go.
You can go.
Yeah,
I've got my Garmin in reach.
Yeah.
If anything happens, I'm fine.
He kind of makes you feel guilty for not going faster. I get it. He kind of, hey, dude, a little faster. Come on, let's go.
It took you a while to show up for this episode, Derek, but now you're here. Welcome.
Good for you, Christine. You had your inReach, and you just told him to kind of stick it and go on his way.
Hey, Derek, I was called slow on this trip by one of the guys. So
really?
Yeah.
Well, the truth comes out.
Yeah, you just keep on hiking slow.
Truth comes out.
I'm like, all right. Never been called slow before, but I'll take it.
You know, the tortoise won the race, guys. The tortoise won, and we know that.
Wise.
Wise.
Please subscribe for more tips like that. But the tortoise won the race. You can't learn that anywhere else.
Christine and I are going to write a book about just wise sayings on the trail. So,
crisis number 4.
Here we go.
2 guys were short on food.
Twist. It's a plot twist.
Sorry, plot twist. Plot twist number 4. 2 guys were short on food. Okay,
crisis.
They subtly revealed this. Derek, how do you handle this?
Subtly revealed. What does that mean? Subtly revealed. Oh, hey.
They're like, yeah, I'm a little lean on food, I think is the phrase I use.
Are we talking like I forgot a whole dinner meal? Or more snacks?
I didn't go through their pack.
Jeez. Okay. I mean, we've been both guilty of having shortage of food, but not by much. But you had like how much did you have left to go? Like time wise, like a day? What are we talking
when
about?
It was revealed, I think we had 2 days left.
2 days left?
Yeah.
And they're missing big chunks of food?
They didn't say. They were subtly suggesting that they were short on food.
I think I would dig in more then. If you're going to subtly suggest it, I'd be like,
let's do a caloric breakdown.
No, I'd be like, well, what do you mean you're short on food? Do you have enough like dinner meals? You have the big meals? Do I need to share snacks with you? What are we talking about?
Okay.
Give me a gauge. I need to gauge this, right?
Yeah.
If they're just going to like,
you want to quantify.
If they're going to tiddlywink and be like, well, you know, I'm a little short. I don't know if I'm going to have enough. I'm not really sure. Well, show me what you got. Whip out the pack. Let's see it.
But showing that you don't really know how much people are eating per day. So that could be like, oh, that's not very much, or that's a lot. And either way, that's not enough for them.
What are you going to say? Like, well, you've been a little slow, so maybe these fewer snacks are better for you. You know,
well, I tried to combine the issue that we were just talking about, the sit down breaks. And I said, okay, at night, I said, all right, everybody, let's gather around here. We got a couple guys that are short on food. I have a sneaking suspicion some of you guys brought too much food. So let's alleviate some weight from some of your packs, and then we can kind of, give some of the food to these other guys. I was trying to solve 2 problems here, and Christine, you were the only one I think donated food, right? What did you give him?
What would you guys do?
Electrolytes, because they were short. People were short on electrolytes.
Okay.
And that's another thing that, if it's hot, you just got to throw that stuff in there.
No, you gave him like beef sticks and stuff. You even like food.
Well, yeah, I also had that. So I had some extra stuff that I just didn't eat them because I wasn't hungry.
Yeah.
I don't know. But anyway, I had some extra food.
Okay.
But I was a little surprised.
Right.
But it's okay. Stuff like that happens.
Okay.
And
Well, here's where there's like an actual plot to it. So the next day we get to a spot where like we're still on the loop, but it hits a trailhead with an access point to vehicles. And these two ladies that we've been leapfrogging actually end the trail there. And so they're packing up, and it kind of ends at this like trailhead / campground. So we're just like sitting around waiting for people at the picnic table, and they're packing up, they're leaving. And I was like, hey guys, like now's your chance. They're leaving. If they have any extra food, just be like, hey, you guys have any extra food you want to throw your way? And they were like, no, I don't want to do that. Carl, you do that kind of stuff. I don't want to do that. That's socially awkward.
People like to stay vague and shy and stuff. I mean,
yeah.
So if they were that hungry, they shouldn't have let that bother them.
I know. That's my point. Is that like
exactly.
From that moment on, I was not helping them with food because that was ridiculous. I thought this is the easiest way to get food. Yeah. Do you agree with that, Derek?
Yeah, 100%. If I was starving and I'm low on food, I know I'm going to eventually impact everybody else. So here's an opportunity to alleviate everybody's tension and just be like, hey, but again, it's like you have a Christine here who's like proactive and like, let me involve myself and help out with trekking poles and sandals and Tevas and beef sticks or whatever. and I don't, and there's other people who don't have that personality. They just don't have that, like, hey, I need to speak up and say something. They're going to like keep it to themselves.
Yeah.
Try to do the best they can until it's like they're at the end of the rope, and then they're going to say something when it's too late, probably. Right. So that is frustrating.
Is that a guy thing? Is that a guy thing, or is that just
personal? No, I think a personality thing for sure.
Okay.
For sure.
I don't know. Derek and I probably aren't the guys to talk about this because we're both.
I would have gone up
shy.
and asked for food for sure, even if I had food.
Neither of us are shy. We'll talk to anybody, and
I would have traded food if I knew they were leaving.
Carl, you talked about going on a backpacking trip and not bringing any food and just relying on people giving you all the food you need. I thought that was very bold.
Yeah, you want to go? Would you be on that trip?
You could. That would be a good thesis paper.
Oh, okay.
Oh, there you go.
Doctorate in.
You could get a lot of information from that.
Yeah. So I think I've talked about this for years where I'm not going to pack any food, but I think I'm going to actually just like go to other backpacking groups and say, hey, if you're overpacked with food, I'll help alleviate your food weight and I'll take some off and see if I can get enough calories to support me for the trip.
You just want to do like a mooch trip.
Well, that's a negative way of looking at it. My way is looking at it is going ultra light and strategic.
At what point are we going to have a podcast episode where you're like, I'm going to try and do a trip with a 1 pound pack? Like, when's it going to happen? You know what I mean? I'm going to bring,
probably,
season
10. How about that?
Okay. All right. You're just going to bring a Ziploc backpack and
just whatever I can fit in my pockets. That's it. We'll call it the pocket backpacking trip.
Pockets. Yeah.
All right. One last crisis. During the whole trip, one of the dudes that went along, super nice guy. He is not married. He was single the whole trip. And Christine, you didn't like this very much. You wanted to solve the problem on the trip. Is that correct?
Well, yeah.
Okay. What'd you do?
Well,
this
first of all,
okay. I'm already intrigued.
I know. This is what I was talking about.
I thought you meant single as in like he hiked by himself the whole time. But
that's what I wanted to know.
Yeah,
that's what I wanted to know.
Okay.
So I thought there's one guy on this trip that is single the whole time. I mean, I thought, okay, what's the alternative? Like single half the time, and then we get married in the middle of the trail?
No, I can have a girlfriend.
I don't know. And guess what? At that, I forget the name of the place we were staying. Well, I know it was when we decided to go with a different place to camp rather than add 3 miles on.
Right.
Do you remember? Right. So we were at that place.
I want the
and
story.
there was this wonderful woman.
Yes.
Across the trail.
Janice.
And Janice, right. And so I went over and spoke to her, and then this fellow came up, and I'm kind of working it, it's like,
You
"Hey,"
get
and he does this too. And Janice is like, "Oh, you like to hike as well. Oh, that's great." And then
what do you
I
mean?
said,
You're asking somebody on a backpacking trip, oh, do you like to hike as well?
Wow. So let me get this straight. You're out there spitting game to some single female hiker, working your magic as a wing woman, and he comes over.
Matchmaker.
He comes over and sees the situation. Like, he's not a dummy, obviously. He comes over there, thought she was cute. Did he think she was cute?
No, he's kind of a low key guy.
Okay.
So when
What do we-
I got him engaged. It's like, oh, he likes to do this.
Oh wow.
It's
Yeah, I would
great. And I bet you're out a lot. And then I said, I have
You're
something
out a
I have
lot.
to take care of. I said, I have to take care of something.
That
over there
you
in
are
the tent.
slick.
But you
I have to take care of
guys
something.
just-
You guys talk amongst yourselves, right?
That is slick. You are slick. Wow. I would have paid money to see that.
So I kept hearing the hum going on over there. And then pretty soon I hear him turn it around. I was like, I thought, maybe he doesn't do this very often.
No.
But I didn't know.
No, he doesn't. You don't typically date on a backpacking trip very often. You're correct.
People meet all kinds of ways, though. Here's my question to you, Christine, and you can answer this now or later. It's up to you. But
Sure.
you don't seem like a shy person, which I like. Did at any point later after this encounter with this matchmaking session, did you ever go up to him and be like, "Hey, did you get the digits? Did you get the number?"
I said that.
You said that?
Yeah.
Did anybody find that out? What happened?
That's great.
He didn't get the digits, but we were leapfrogging this girl. She was very nice. She ended up saving us a camp spot. She bought it down. She kind of like took this camp spot. And she's like, actually, this would fit a very large group, and so she like saved it for us, which was amazing. And then she's super nice. And we kept on leapfrogging her. So on the last day, when I was doing kind of, how I like interview people on the way out, I was like, hey, Janice, let me ask you some questions. And so I got her. So you'll hear from her later on in this episode, basically. But
you got her telephone number?
I got her email just so I could email her this episode so she knows when it comes out, because she'd never been on a podcast before. But I'm not asking for her phone number. Your buddy didn't ask for an Instagram, an email, anything? No, but this is not the end of the story, because after the trip, then Christine's like, well, who else do I know? Right. And then, tell us the rest of the story, Christine.
Okay. So I have a friend. In fact, she's my best friend with backpacking. We've done several Grand Canyon trips together, and we just have so much fun. And she's about the same age as this gentleman.
Hello.
And he likes to backpack, and so does she.
It's the rumor.
And she's this lovely woman. And I did send about 3 or 4 pictures to Carl of my friend. Not because I want him to see how attractive she was, but just for him to see that she's out there, Grand Canyon trips here and locally.
You're matchmaking.
She just loves life.
Here's what we're doing. Here's where we're going with this. We're gonna.
I think I see a second profession here.
Yeah.
Following up on my pharmacy.
Backpacking and matchmaking. On the next Patreon trip, we're gonna have both of them there. Derek, if you want to join too, we can have all sorts of meetings, and I can do some conversation starters. I can say, like, I can do would you rathers. Like, we could do all sorts of stuff here.
I could come up with all kinds of awkward questions for people, so it's not a problem there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I just thought the concept of backpacking matchmaking was hilarious, and not only did it happen literally on the trip, but it like continued after the trip. So that's one of the funniest things we've had happen on a trip.
I think people don't even think about this. I think nowadays young people think about these dating sites and all that. And my friend says they're awful. And I said, what you need to do is find someone like doing what you're doing. And then at least you have one thing in common. And
you're asking your friends to hunt on the trail, essentially. Is that what you're doing?
we look at backpacking a different way at this point.
Track them down. Okay, that's interesting. Well, I wish them well. I hope that they get to meet. I hope they get to talk.
Yeah,
whoever this is. But
all right. So after all this nonsense, after the difficulty, the strenuousness of the trail, the stream crossings, sharing shoes, matchmaking, all the crises and plot twists, Christine, would you come on another Patreon trip?
Wild horses couldn't keep me from coming on another Patreon.
Yes.
Wow. Wild horses.
Okay.
Write that down.
Christine, it's been a pleasure and honor. You always brighten the spirit of this podcast and the trip. So it would be an honor to go
Thank
backpacking
you.
with you again.
Lovely.
Thank you.
Lovely.
I'll be
Lovely.
there.
Lovely
All right.
talking with you.
All right. That was Christine. And we didn't get to it, but she did want to give a shout out to the ladies out there to encourage more women to come on the backpacking trips. Although it sounds like she's going to be inviting some. So is this like is the next one like going to be a backpacking matchmaking trip, Derek?
I think you met the best networker for women on the trails
for sure
in America. So yeah, I think that's
America.
a plus. Yeah, maybe the world. I don't know.
Yeah,
but I love her. She's great energy. Love her
yeah,
energy.
she's a lot of fun to go backpacking with. And it was a hard trip for sure. And so you never know who you're going to scare with a tough trip, especially when you label the episode Backpacking Crises. But she's in. She said wild horses can't keep her away, so she's in. All right.
That's fabulous.
Yeah.
I'm writing that down right now.
I've got Oregon trivia for you coming up right after this.
Hiya!
All right, you ready for Oregon trivia?
No, but we're gonna try.
You know much about Oregon? I mean, it borders your state.
I don't think I've ever actually been to. I've been to Washington multiple times. No, I don't think I've ever been to Oregon. Have I?
Okay.
No, we took a trip. Never mind.
All right.
No, that was Olympic National. That was Washington.
Yeah.
Washington. Yeah, I haven't been to
This is my first time backpacking in Oregon, but I've been there before. The airports are like one of the top airports, by the way, just kind of FYI. But
top airports?
Yeah, it's like super nice in there, convenient, easy to navigate, all that stuff. Yeah, I liked it a lot. But I ran these questions by my wife because she hasn't. I'm trying to think. I don't know if she's been to Oregon or she has. She's been, but not very recently. She was able to get 2 out of 3.
2 out of 3.
She was able
cold
to pass.
turkey.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Number 1, what famous dairy company resides in Oregon?
Oh gosh.
A. Tillamook, B. Bluebell, C. Ben and Jerry's, or D. 2% Milk?
What milk company?
Dairy company.
The worst question. Okay, I'm pretty sure Ben and Jerry's is Vermont.
Okay.
2%. I don't know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Is blue? I want to say Tillamook.
Tillamook is correct. Correct.
Yes.
They have like a display actually in the airport. So,
wow.
Yeah, they got a anyway. All right, number 2. In 1964, what famous athletic company was founded by Phil in Eugene, Oregon? No multiple choice.
Okay, read that again. Founded by Phil?
Yeah, in Eugene, Oregon.
What company?
Famous athletic company.
Oh, what famous company was founded by Phil?
Yeah. There's like 4 clues in this question.
What famous company was founded by Phil in Oregon?
Eugene, Oregon.
Eugene. Mm-hmm. Phil. Company. That's 3 clues.
1964, famous athletic company, Phil, and Eugene, Oregon are all clues.
I don't know. Eugene Levy? No, let's say let's go.
The athletic company is called the Eugene Levies.
I'm gonna go Nike.
Nike is correct.
Nike.
Good comeback.
Good thing I saw the movie.
See, pass, man.
Good thing I saw the movie.
Number 3. Which of the following is not in Oregon? A. Crater Lake National Park. B. Mount Hood. C. The Pacific Crest Trail. Or D. Grizzlies.
Which one is in Oregon?
Which one is not in Oregon?
Oh, not in Oregon. Let's see. We got PCT. What was the crater?
Crater Lake National Park.
Crater Lake National Park.
Which is actually it's a real national park. FYI.
Grizzlies, and the first one was
Crater Lake National Park.
There's only 3.
Mount Hood was the second one.
Oh, Mount Hood. That's right. Okay. I'm pretty sure. Oh gosh. Why do I feel like it's gonna be? Grizzlies, but I'm pretty sure Grizzlies are over there. I cannot remember this one. I'm gonna say Grizzlies. I don't think I'm right, but
Grizzlies is correct. Correct.
Boom!
Wow.
Boom goes the dynamite.
Timberline goes around Mount Hood, so that's the connection there. We didn't really talk about that, but that's kind of the
exactly
that trail does. But there you go.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So I've got a couple tidbits. I've got sounds of the trails coming up at the end to kind of close things out. I just kind of had quick chats with everybody on the trail.
Well, let's end with that.
Including Janice, who wasn't even part of our group, but she was so nice, and we kept on leapfrogging her. So I just kind of, included her. And then the only other tidbit I have is that we had Brad Crow Felton on as a guest host a few weeks back, maybe over a month ago now. And I had an issue with Amazon with him, and I want to know if you've had this issue before, Derek.
Okay.
So he won trivia, and so I told him I'd send him like his freeze dried meal of choice, and I used Amazon. So I sent it to him, no big deal. And then I used Amazon to order some of my own stuff. And then it like auto defaulted his address and sent him the stuff that I ordered for myself. Like I always order stuff for myself. And then if I want to change it, you change it. But so it defaults. Okay. So then I called him. I'm like, hey, you sent somebody in Alabama my stuff. And it was like, I was ordering Crocs, arm sleeves, and a computer case is what I was ordering.
Crocs.
And so they're like, oh, sorry, we'll they were nice about it. They're like, yeah, we'll resend that stuff to you. They didn't even ask me to send it back. They're like, we'll resend it to you.
Wow.
So they sent it to him again.
What?
Like, so he got double of all those things I just mentioned.
Did you give him the correct address?
It's like, I don't want to put the responsibility on him to send me random things I order on Amazon. Like, we're not that close for me to even ask him to do that. But
it didn't go to that extent. But yeah, I did have multiple addresses on there. And I was actually, it was after I sent you something a while ago, and I went to send something back to myself, and it defaulted to yours, but I happened to check it.
Oh,
and switch it again.
What did you send me? You don't ever send me anything.
I sent you some like video game stuff.
Yeah, but that's but not through Amazon though, right?
No, but there was that.
You're combining stories here.
No. And then I bought you something else that you
never buy me anything.
Oh no, that was Costco. I'm thinking Costco. Never mind.
You did give me something from the Costco. That's legit.
But I have had that happen where I'm like about to send it and I noticed it didn't switch it back.
All right, that's weird. It's like you have your default address. It should always go to the default, right?
It should.
Yeah,
it should.
We're helping lives out there, Derek. So beware of that, folks. If you send things to other people, just
I agree.
Double check it.
Any more tidbits for us?
That's all I got.
Guys, that was lovely. Christine was lovely. Such a pleasure. Guys, thanks again. Check us out on all the social media handles at Backpacking Blisters Podcast. And remember, my takeaway, I don't know about yours, my takeaway was if you are on a trip with Carl, you may probably get nauseous and cause yourself to lose some sleep and probably miss the trip like that poor gentleman did. So beware of who you go on the trip with. Enjoy the sounds of the trail. We'll see you next time.